Hi there, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my build of the 1974 Helle kit of the Liore et Olivier 451 medium bomber in 1/72 scale. Now if you enjoy the video, please do remember to give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button, ding the notification bell and subscribe. All of these are absolutely free and a great way to support the channel. So before I talk about the build, why don't we have a quick look at the history of an important aircraft I honestly had never heard of. The Liore et Olivier 451 was a French medium bomber designed just before World War II, intended for modern strategic operations unlike previous French bombers. It was armed with a large 20mm cannon for self-defense, along with a machine gun in a retractable ventral turret, and it carried a bomb load of up to 7 200-kilo bombs. The first flight was in 1938, and with war in Europe looming, the French government eventually ordered the Liore 451 in bulk. By September 1939, 749 aircraft were on order. By the start of the battle in France in 1940, over 200 had been delivered, but only 54 were considered combat ready. But these performed actually reasonably well. After the armistice of June 1940, the Liore 451s were transferred to the Vichy government. The 451 continued in service throughout the war and afterwards as a general transport aircraft, the last of the type being retired in 1957. Helle first made a kit of the Liore 451, or more accurately the Liore 45 prototype, in 1966. The first kit of the 451, with redesigned fins and engine nacelles, came out in 1967. Both versions have been reissued since with their original artwork, although the 451 had a new box in 1980 that showed the ventral turret deployed. The most recent issues, in 2017 and 2018, had redesigned decals. Next, here's a list of the paints and products I used to make this kit. Step 1, and I'm adding the bomb aimer's seat to the forward cockpit floor, along with a couple of consoles. The radio sets go on a wall piece, and then the pilot and navigator seats go onto the mid-cockpit floor section. Next, the interior of the fuselage. The colour is described on the instructions as apple green, although this does look a bit bright. Anyway, I've got lots of windows to put in. Now I've put the forward and mid floors in place, and now the rear floor goes in. This will hold the mid-upper gun. The fuselage halves can then go together, a very good fit as it happens. There are a couple of small instruments that go on the inside of the canopy before the canopy itself goes on. I'm using PVA to hold this in place. The mid-upper glass is more tricky, but will sit in place with a bit of persuasion. In the nose is a bomb sight that needs to go in. Then there's a sighting tube that goes to the cockpit. This is very fiddly. With these set, the nose glass can go on. Again, kept in place with PVA glue. Each wing has a top and bottom surface. The top has a space for a long flap and aileron piece, which is kind of an odd design. While other things are setting, I'll assemble the two halves of the ventral gun turret. The tailplane then goes onto the end of the fuselage. It will need some filling at the forward joint. There are tabs on the wings that meet inside the fuselage. Now these help set the position. They slot into the fuselage sides. The last bit of construction right now is putting the front cowling on the engine nacelles, as these will be painted separately. On to painting, and the fuselage is primed with a pink colour where the yellow will go. Then the yellow parts, so the tail fins and the whole tail assembly, get a couple of coats of yellow paint. When these have dried, I mask them up and spray on the red for the Vichy stripes. With that complete, I can mask off those areas completely and prime the rest of the aircraft with grey. The underside gets a coat of light grey blue. And with that masked off, the upper side gets a first coat of dark blue-grey. Then I'll mask the grey patches and paint on some green. Now I didn't like this green when I first got it, so I added a grey green as well to make a more sort of olive toned look. Masked off that again and finish with the dark brown. So now I'm happy with the colours. I've coated it in gloss varnish and I can apply the decals. There are not so many of these and they come from an aftermarket set. Waiting for them to dry, I'll put together the mid-upper gun. Now once the decals have set, I can add the painted fins to the tail and the engine housings to the nacelles. Then I'll give the whole thing some matte varnish. Next, the undercarriage, and the doors are closed but pre-cut. Simply prise them open. The wheel hubs fit inside the tyres, then the hubs sit on stub axles on each half of the main gear leg. These can be slotted into place in the wing. Actuator arms come in two halves. They fit into the gear leg at one end and are slot in the rear of the gear bay at the other. You can see here how the two halves fit together. The rest of the gear structure simply glues into place. Now while I've got the plane on its back, I can fit the ventral turret. The tail wheel can go in place as well. Right way up again, I'll fit the cannon into the mid-upper position, then place the propellers and spinners on the engines, and the kit is pretty much finished. There we go, a pretty good model of a very unusual aircraft. Overall the fit was good, although some of the details were a little tricky to put in and the transparencies were showing a bit of age. The undercarriage is complex, takes time to assemble, and there are a few spots in the fuselage that need some filling, but overall it's a good experience. I did enjoy doing the Vichy stripes, although they are difficult to space correctly over the engines. The colours on the tail were hand painted, the red and white, easy enough, but I had a hard time finding a blue to match the tone of the roundels. Eventually I used some Humbrol 89 mixed with a dark grey blue to get something that I think is pretty close. As I mentioned, the green from the Hataka set I thought was way too lurid, so I toned it down by mixing in some Russian uniform green, and I'm much happier with the result. Overall, a challenging but very rewarding build, especially if painting's your favourite thing. I'll be doing some more of these old Helle kits in the coming months, as I really enjoyed this one. Now, if you've really enjoyed the video, then please do remember to hit that like button, ding the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching today, and goodbye.